Hi, in this video, we will talk about an important FP&A interview question. Why FP&A and why do you want to move into a finance profile now? Here is the truth. Your accounting background is a gold mine for FP&A, but only if you know how to position it. What I've seen is most candidates miss the link between their past experience and the forward nature looking of FP&A. So let me show you how to connect your accounting and audit skills to budgeting, forecasting, and cross-functional collaboration in a way that feels natural and compelling to the interviewer. Before we get into the video, I also wanted to cover different ways this question can be asked in the interview. So here are different versions of the same question. What motivates you to move from accounting to FP&A? Why are you interested in an FP&A role at this stage of your career? What attracts you to FP&A analysis over your present role? How did you realize that FP&A was the right next step for you? What do you hope to gain by moving into FP&A now? What is driving your shift from a backward looking function to a forward looking finance role like FP&A? When the interviewers ask why FP&A, they are not just testing your interest. They are also checking if you understand what makes this role different from accounting. A vague answer like I enjoy working with numbers won't cut it. So in the next few minutes, I will break down exactly how to structure your response to highlight your strategic mindset, showcase your transferable skills, and make hiring managers confident that you are ready for the transition. So let's get into it. Now close your eyes and picture yourself sitting in an FP&A interview. The hiring manager leans forward and asks you, why do you want this role? Now your mind freezes at this point. You know that you are qualified, but suddenly you can't find the right words. And this happens to most candidates because they haven't prepared for how different this question is from technical accounting interview questions. The default answers don't work here. Saying that I love numbers or I want career growth will make the interviewers tune out. And they've heard these responses hundreds of times. Research shows that 3 out of the 4 candidates are unable to explain their FP&A motivations beyond these surface level reasons. The issue isn't your experience, it is how you are presenting it. Accounting focuses on historical accuracy, while FP&A drives future decisions. Hiring managers need to hear how your background equips you for this shift. If you worked on auditing financial statements, then you can connect that to building trustworthy budgets and forecasts. If you've handled month end close before, you can explain how that trigger will help you deliver faster management reporting cycles. The key here is showing that you understand FP&A's strategic demands and not just its technical requirements. Many candidates also make the mistake of treating this like an technical FP&A or accounting interview question, and they'll start listing skills like Excel proficiency or attention to detail. All these matter, but they don't answer why FP&A specifically appeals to you. Interviewers listen for cues that you understand the FP&A role's business impact, and they want to hear how you will transition from just verifying data to influencing business decisions. So think about the last time that you analyzed financial results in your current role. Did you notice any trends that could inform next year's budgets or forecasts? That is a kind of insight the FP&A teams would value. Your answers should bridge what you've done with what you will do in future. For example, in my tax role, I identified recurring deductions that helped improve cash flow projections. Now, I want to use the same analytical skills to build company-wide budgets and forecasts. Now, the most effective responses I have seen does 2 things very well. First is that they would highlight transferable FP&A skills. And second is while doing that, they also demonstrate strategic thinking. You should definitely avoid very generic statements like I just like finance or I just like FP&A. Instead, you should pinpoint moments in your present role where you went beyond compliance work to provide forward looking insights. Even very small examples count, like suggesting process improvements during an audit or even volunteering to help with the budget variance analysis. Now, you should appreciate that what this question also does, it separates candidates who understand FP&A from those who just want a change for the sake of it. Your answers should prove that you've researched the role's challenges well. You can mention specific pain points from the FP&A job description. For example, I know that your team struggles with aligning department budgets to strategic goals, and my experience of reconciling intercompany transactions has taught me how to bridge gaps between different teams. Remember, the interviewer isn't just evaluating your FP&A skills in this question. They are assessing whether you will survive and thrive in FP&A's collaborative environment. So you should show them that you are ready to move from working with spreadsheets to working with stakeholders. Your accounting background gives you that credibility. Now you need to frame it as a the preparation for driving business outcomes. After reviewing over hundreds of successful transitions into FP&A, three clear motivation patterns emerged to me. These aren't about technical skills. They focus on how candidates connect their past experience to FP&A's unique value proposition. FP&A professionals don't just report numbers, they shape companies' direction. This appeals to accountants and auditors who have spent years verifying historical data, now want to impact future financial decisions. One of the candidate put it this way: in accounting and audit, I used to verify financial statements. Now I want to use the same attention to detail to build budgets and forecasts that drive future growth of the company. The second motivation is skill expansion. Accounting roles often focus on compliance and accuracy, while FP&A roles requires forecasting and business partnering. This shift lets professionals develop new capabilities. One auditor transitioning into FP&A explained, I have spent years ensuring that past data and numbers were correct. Now, FP&A will give me the chance to use that foundation to predict what's coming next. This is what could resonate with interviewers because this shows self-awareness about the FP&A role's demands. Cross-functional collaboration is the third key motivation. Unlike accounting, which often works in silos, FP&A teams interact with every department in the business. This appeals to professionals who enjoy solving business problems beyond the spreadsheets. One candidate said that in my past tax roles, I rarely spoke to operations. Now, I want to work with them to improve the core forecasting. Interviewers listen for this because FP&A success depends on building relationships across the organization. These three motivations work because they address what hiring managers really care about. Technical skills have now become table stakes. They expect you to know Excel and Power BI. What sets you apart is demonstrating how your accounting background prepares you for the FP&A strategic forward-looking nature. For example, if you've done month-end reporting close, highlight how that rigor helps you deliver accurate forecasts faster. If you've reconciled accounts, explain how that attention to detail ensures reliable budgeting and forecasting models. The best answers often combine these motivation with specific examples. Instead of just saying, I want to be more strategic, you can try this. After 3 years of working on financial statements, now I am ready to use that expertise to build budgets and forecasts that align with company goals. This shows that you understand FP&A's purpose. Another effective approach is linking your skills to the company's challenges. For example, my experience streamlining auditing processes has taught me how to improve reporting efficiency, something your job description has mentioned as the priority. Avoid generic statements about liking analysis or wanting growth. These don't differentiate you. Instead, focus on shifting from recording history to shaping the future. One successful candidate framed it in this way: in accounts payable, I processed invoices. Now I want to analyze spending patterns, help departments stay on budget. This simple contrast demonstrates a clear understanding of the FP&A's value. Again, remember that interviewers aren't just evaluating your technical skills. They are assessing whether you will survive and thrive in FP&A's collaborative, forward-thinking environment. Your answers should prove that you've researched the role's challenges and can connect your experience to solving them. These three motivations, strategic influence, skill expansion, and cross-functional collaboration, give you that framework to do that job effectively. Picture this: you are halfway through your FP&A interview and the interview is going very well. Now suddenly the FP&A manager asks you, why do you want this role? Your mind starts racing. All you can think of are generic phrases like, I enjoy analysis or I want more strategic work. Here is why that happens. Most accounting professionals struggle to articulate the specific appeal of FP&A because they haven't connected their daily tasks to the bigger FP&A picture. The challenge isn't your experience, it is framing your background in a way that highlights it, prepares you for FP&A's unique demands. The key is recognizing that interviewers don't just want to hear why you are interested. They need proof that you understand how FP&A differs from accounting. While accounting focuses on historical accuracy, FP&A drives the future decisions. Saying I love numbers misses the mark because both roles, be it accounting or FP&A, involve numbers. What sets FP&A apart is influencing business strategy through forecasting, budgeting, and cross-functional collaboration. If your answer could apply to any finance role, then it is too vague. Many successful candidates anchor their responses in three specific motivations: strategic influence, skill expansion, and collaboration. Strategic influence means moving from recording transactions to shaping companies' future direction. Skill expansion involves transitioning from compliance work to predictive forecasting and modeling. modeling. Collaboration highlights partnering with departments like sales, marketing, or operations, which is rare in the traditional accounting function. For example, an auditor might say, verifying financial statements showed me how data quality impacts decisions. Now I want to build those budgets and forecasts myself. To structure your response, you could use the star P method. Start with the S, which is situation, which can be your current accounting, audit, or tax role. Then comes T, describe the transition. What made you realize FP&A was the right move? Next is A, explain the action, how you proactively developed relevant skills like doing FP&A courses or certifications. By the way, if you are serious about FP&A, then you should definitely check out FP&A Professional Institute's CGFPA program. Links are in the description below. Coming back to the video, next is R, share the result, how those efforts prepared you for FP&A. And finally comes P, offer proof, a concrete example that demonstrates your FP&A readiness. Next, let's see how this could work in practical life. For example, in my tax accounting role, which is the situation, I noticed our clients often struggled with cash flow surprises. That made me realize I wanted to prevent problems, not just fix them, which is transition. Next, I took an online course on forecasting and built a 12-month cash flow forecast model for the small business, which is one of my clients, which is the action. Their variance rates dropped by 20% because they could anticipate the shortfalls well in advance. Result. Here is the model file, and I would love to discuss how I could apply this approach to your quarterly forecast, which is the proof. Now, this method works because it tells the interviewer a story that they can follow. It shows self awareness about what was missing in your previous role and the initiative that you took to bridge the gap. And most importantly, it provides the proof that you've done the work to understand FP&A's day to day challenges and realities. The best response doesn't just list the reasons, they demonstrate how your past has uniquely prepared you for the next FP&A step. Now, even the strongest FP&A candidates can sometimes undermine themselves with these three common mistakes. The first mistake is that making the answer all about what you want from the role rather than what you can contribute to it. Saying I want better work-life balance or I am looking for more interesting work can sometimes raise red flags because it focuses on your needs instead of the company's requirements. Instead, you could flip the perspective. For example, you can say something on the lines, my month-end close experience has helped me develop the business knowledge that I plan to use delivering rolling forecasts to help the company plan better. Now, this shifts the focus to how you can solve problem for the organization. The second mistake is underestimating how much technical accounting experience applies to FP&A. Many candidates assume that they need to downplay their accounting background when it actually is their strongest asset. For example, if you've done financial statement analysis, that directly translates to building more accurate forecasts. If you've managed budgets, if you've already understood the inputs the FP&A teams need, one controller transitioning to FP&A successfully framed it this way. Auditing expense reports taught me how departments overspend. Now I want to help them build the budget guidelines that prevents those issues upfront. The third pitfall is giving a generic answer that doesn't address company specific challenge. Before the interview, research the company's pain points. Maybe they are scaling up, rapidly entering new markets, or struggling with forecasting accuracy. Then tailor your response accordingly. For example, I noticed that the CFO mentioned tightening budget variance in the last earnings call. My work reconciling intercompany transactions gave me a sharp eye for discrepancies. Now I could apply that rigor to your forecasting process. This shows that you have done your homework and can hit the ground running immediately. Now, the difference between an average answer and an outstanding answer comes down to one question. Are you showing them what's in it for you, or what is in it for the hiring manager and the organization? The candidates who land offers make it undeniably clear that how their background and skills can solve the hiring managers and company's problem. So make sure that your every sentence reinforces that connection. So remember, when interviewers ask you why you want to get into FP&A, they are not judging your ability or experience. What they are trying to understand is, will you be able to navigate through the challenges that comes with the new FP&A role? Hope this breakdown helps you prepare for your next interview. Do check out bunch of free FP&A courses, books, along with the FP&A interview question playlist where I have answered many more FP&A interview questions. Links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.